Okay, so if you've ever found yourself just staring at your baby, thinking, what is possibly going on in that little head? Well, you are so not alone. It's this deep and, let's be real, kind of confusing world we're going to jump into today. We're talking about that silent dialogue, that unspoken conversation you're having with your child every single day. I mean, it's the big question, right? How do you talk to someone who literally can't talk back? It can feel like you're just broadcasting into the void. But here's the secret. It's not a one-way street at all. It's a full-on, two-way conversation that's happening 24/7. We just have to learn how to tune into their frequency to understand their language. All right, so where do we even begin? Well, our first big idea is what we're calling the art of connection. And really, it all boils down to just being present and being responsive. Sounds simple, I know. But that one little thing, it's the bedrock. It's the foundation of their entire world. Okay, and right at the core of this whole connection thing is this amazing concept called serve and return. Seriously, just picture a little tennis game. Your baby serves, maybe it's a tiny coo, a glance your way, or a wiggle, and your job? It's just to return that serve. You smile back, you say a word, you give a gentle touch, and this little back and forth, it's so much more than just a cute moment. This is literally, and I mean literally, building the neural connections in their brain. It's brain architecture in action. So what does that look like in the real world, right? It's actually super simple. Your baby serves, they point at the dog. You return, oh, look at the puppy. They make a little sound, you return by making a sound back. See? Every single time you do that, you're sending a powerful message. You're telling them, I see you, I hear you, you matter to me. And honestly, that feeling of being seen, that's the whole game. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to carve out special time for this. You don't need fancy flashcards or expensive toys. You just weave it into the stuff you're already doing. When you're on the floor, get down on their level, make that eye contact. Just talk through your day. Okay, mommy's pouring some water now. Or turn bath time into a silly little song. It's these tiny, everyday moments that turn the boring stuff into these really powerful connection points. Look, if you remember nothing else from this part, please let it be this. Your voice and your rhythm are what matter most. Seriously, you don't have to be a perfect speaker. You don't need to say brilliant things. Your baby is tuning into the vibe, the feeling behind your words. It's your calm energy, the soothing pattern of your voice. That is the real conversation they're listening to. And that actually leads us perfectly into our second big idea, the power of simplicity. Because look, making that connection is step one, for sure. But the space where that connection happens, that's just as important. We're talking about creating a calm, simple world where they can actually grow without feeling totally overwhelmed. You have to remember a baby's brain runs on magic, not logic. It's just not built for big, complex explanations. So all those long-winded reasons we give, they just fly right over their heads. What works? Simple, clear, direct. So instead of, hey, let's go find that round red object we like to play with, just try ball. See the difference? Okay. Here is a little secret weapon for you, a magic number, and that number is 10. After you say something simple, like ball, I want you to count to 10 silently in your head. I know, it's gonna feel so long. It's gonna feel super awkward. But for them, that pause is everything. It's the time their brand new brain needs to hear the word, process it, and figure out what to do. That silence isn't empty. It's where the learning is happening. And this whole keep it simple idea, it goes for their environment too. So try setting up what's called a yes space, basically a baby-proof zone where they can touch anything and you don't have to keep saying no, no, no. Also, try putting out just 3 or 4 toys at a time, not the whole toy box. It helps them actually focus. And this one is so important. When you see them zoned in playing by themselves, let them be. Don't interrupt. That deep focus is a skill, it's a muscle, and they're in the middle of a workout. All right, and this brings us to our third and maybe most important principle. It's the one that really ties all of this together, support through patience. This is all about the emotional side of things, because patience is what builds that deep, unshakable trust. Okay, I want to offer you a huge mental shift here, something to help with a frustration we've all felt. You know when you've said the same thing for the 10th time, it is so easy to think, they're just not listening to me. But what if we reframe that? What if we remember that repetition isn't failure? It's literally learning in action. Every single time you repeat something, you're not failing as a parent. You're helping their brain build and strengthen a new pathway. You're being their coach. And that leads to another really, really important perspective shift. When your little one doesn't do what you asked, our gut reaction can be to see it as them being defiant or difficult. But 9 times out of 10, actually 99 times out of 100, it's just overwhelm. They're stuck, they don't know what the next step is. So see that as your signal. It's your cue to step in, not to do it for them, but to help them. Just break it down. Show them the very first tiny step. And hey, when they finally do get it, how we praise them makes a huge difference. We all say, good job, and that's fine, it's sweet, but it doesn't really teach them anything. So instead, try getting specific. Notice the effort. Wow, you were so careful stacking that block. Or you worked so hard to put that puzzle piece in. See, you're praising the process, not just the win. And that is how you build real, solid self-confidence at less. Okay, so let's zoom out and put this all together. All these little things, the back and forth serves, the simple environment, the moments of patience. What are you really doing? You're not just getting through the day. You are building a foundation. And I promise you, these small, seemingly tiny actions you take every day, they have a massive, lifelong impact. When you think about it, your job is kind of like being a lighthouse. Their world is this huge, deep, and sometimes pretty stormy ocean. And you're the steady, calm port in the storm. It's your presence, your simplicity, and your patience that gives them the safe harbor they need to feel confident enough to go out and explore it all. So when it all feels like a lot, just remember the 3 big keys to this whole unspoken conversation. Be present and responsive, keep it simple, and always, always try to lead with patience. And remember, none of this is about being a perfect parent. I don't even know what that is. It's just about being a present one. So I'll leave you with one last thing to think about. What's one small, simple connection you can build today?